So I'm discovering things about myself. I'm like, I'm a freak.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is getting candid about how she experimented with her sexuality in prison. The 32-year-old, who served 7 years behind bars for the 2015 murder of her mom Clauddine Dee Dee Blanchard, says that she learned a lot about her sexuality during her incarceration. She shares this on the June 10th episode of Lifetime's Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup.
A big part of womanhood is learning to be comfortable with their sexuality. And for years I wasn't.
Gypsy admits that she spent a large part of her life questioning her sexuality, adding that she was attracted to girls during her teenage years, but rarely got a chance to act on those feelings until after being locked up.
For a long time, I actually kind of questioned my own sexuality, because as a teenager or a preteen, I felt that I was attracted to girls, and I got to experiment with that in prison. I think I've kissed more girls than I have guys.
However, Gypsy explains that rules in prison prevented her from having much of a sex drive behind bars, and it wasn't until after she was released in December that she started leaning into her sensuality.
I had such big fears that I was like, what happens if I'm just not gonna like sex? I feel like I don't have a sex drive. There is a rule against masturbation in prison. Not only do you have the risk of if you get caught masturbating, but for me, I can go 6 months and just be fine. And I'm like, what happens if I'm not a sexual being? And so I'm discovering things about myself. I'm like, I'm a freak.
Elsewhere in the episode, Gypsy credits her now estranged husband, Ryan Anderson, for helping her feel comfortable in her own skin, especially during sex.
I'm self-conscious because I have scars all over my body. And I had a lot of surgeries that were unnecessary. And so I'm like, am I gonna be what he wants me to be? Am I attractive to him? And even to the point that I'm like, don't even look at me down there, don't, because, and he's like, it's okay.
Gypsy Rose Life After Lockup airs Mondays at 9/8 Central on Lifetime.